I'm Gary Waterman, former UK Police Constable. Welcome to part 2 of the evidence in relation to the international government fraud and how it relates to the death of Jill Dando. Part 1 has already been removed from YouTube, but it is still there on my TikTok account. Now, in the last video we were looking at Mishcon de Reya, but there's a little bit of information I forgot to add, and that was because I received another link from somebody prior to my WhatsApp being removed. Meaning I can't use it. Potentially this could be why it was removed, or one of the reasons. And this link was shared to me, and it suggests there was a massive release of evidence regarding an offshore criminal network having been identified since 1977. This is the year that I was born, and the same year that the Albert Pike letter setting out the 3 World War deceptions appears to have been removed from public view from the British Museum Library. This mentions corrupt world leaders, including Vladimir Putin, politicians and dictators around the world, and will undoubtedly be connected to the Companies House fraud being exposed, although it doesn't specifically mention it. And here is the article. Now, those of you who get my document will be able to look at the full article. There's a lot of information in relation to this here, and I can't verify or haven't verified any of the information on this website yet. Now, other information that I received is suggesting or speculating, I've found no verifiable evidence, that this connects to screams having been heard coming from shipping containers, leading to many resignations for the dockside company in relation to it. There's also an article here in relation to screams from shipping containers in Vancouver, in Canada, and you can see that this was the November the 19th, 2024, as I was continuing to expose the evidence of the fraud. And it says officials can't substantiate claims about Vancouver shipping containers. Now, we have to consider, with this amount of international government fraud and how centralised it is, that this is a huge element of the crimes by our governments, by the councils, by the heads of the police and the intelligence agencies and the heads of the military, tying in with everything that I am exposing. It's no surprise that Mishcon de Reya was the solicitor used by Princess Diana for her divorce to Charles in 1996, and in April 2025 articles emerged that Prince William had also used Mishcon de Reya rather than using Harbottle and Lewis, normally used by Charles. This possibly explains why the royal family appear to be closely connected to the Flemings, who are associated with Exbourne Manor and therefore the de Reya family. And here's the article in relation to Prince William. The reason Prince William has hired his mum, Princess Diana's divorce lawyers. You can see the article here from April 2025. Prince of Wales has reportedly hired the law firm that represented his mother, Princess Diana, in her divorce from King Charles, according to the Daily Mail. Richard Eden, Prince William, who was previously represented by his father's lawyers, Harbottle and Lewis, funny enough, I think we come to them in a minute, has turned to Mishcon de Reya to act on behalf of himself and his family. Research shows that Dando's fiancé, Alan Farthing, had close connections to the royal family and had been born in Hampshire, where Deborah Fleming had been the CEO of the NHS and initiated my removal for refusing to file the forged bank documents. He had joined the Royal College of Gynecologists in 1991, the important year that we've all talked about in the fraud, and the lead up to the apparent falsified prophecy agenda. In 1997, he became a consultant at St Mary's Hospital and the Queen's Surgeon Gynecologist in 2008. A Companies House search shows Farthing is connected to 6 companies, including London Colposcopy Centre Limited, that was incorporated in 2002 after the World Trade Center disaster and dissolved in July 2010, 4 months before CERN Limited was incorporated. Ashok, this surname, and the surname again with PLC are shown on the incorporation document and are the same details connected to important areas of the fraud, to UNICEF and the surname makes a connection to Ingenious Film Partners 2 LLP. And I'll just show you on the incorporation document. This is your company's house records, Alan John Farthing. Now, I haven't researched all of these in depth, but here you can see the London Colposcopy Centre, and on its incorporation document you can see it was incorporated in December 2002. You can see the, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but the Ash Hock, and then the surname there, and further down you have the surname and PLC, and the exact same name featured coming in from the research of the Concorde disaster. And that actually originally came through from the research surrounding the current president of, or Prime Minister of, Australia. Remember, this is international government fraud, everybody. You can see the exact same name is shown as a director for Concorde Limited, and a separate search reveals many apparent duplicate records for the name, with one connecting to Consortium of Street Children. It was incorporated in 1995, the same year as the Russian government intelligence-linked Hackler International Advisory Board company that's shown on page 40 of the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales, and has since dissolved after I've exposed it. Page 8 of the incorporation document shows UNICEF Enterprises Limited, and page 9 shows Nicholas Fenton connected to Child Hope Limited, making an apparent United Nations connections via UNICEF, with UNICEF and another Child Hope company linking quickly to the research of the United Nations and Siemens with CERN, as shown elsewhere in the document. Also, the name, or the surname, can't confirm it's from the, obviously the same family, etc. But coming in from the research of the Association of Police and Crime Commissioners, we then have a connection to Y Films, and this makes a connection to Ravi and the same surname linking to Ingenious Film Partners 2 LLP. And Ingenious Film Partners 2 is also on page 40 of the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales. Now, John Roseman had been Dando's agent, and information suggests Dando was going home to collect a fax Roseman had sent when she was shot. Roseman was huge in the entertainment industry, producing music videos such as for Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody and for Michael Jackson. He was involved in a Netflix show about Dando's death in 2023 as the exposure continued, and has repeatedly claimed that Dando's death, Dando's death was to do with the Serbian mafia. I suspect this is a distraction to the truth, which is the company's house fraud and the associated crimes against children, and how it relates to the falsified prophecy agenda. John Roseman Productions International Limited was incorporated in 1977 and is shown as being in the process of liquidation. Almost all information has been restricted by Companies House and therefore our government, which I suspect is since the exposure began, only emphasising that Dando's apparent death is related to the Companies House fraud. Just have a quick look at the Companies House record. Here you go, you can see John Roseman Productions International, incorporated in 1977. See the name changes, it changed twice in 1977. And it's in liquidation. And they have removed access to all directors. They clearly don't want something being seen. And the filing history shows extremely limited information, where you can't even see the documents anyway. Now, bearing in mind this company started in 1977, this is deliberate. They do not want people seeing this information. Now, the band Queen was one of the biggest bands of all time, and its guitarist Brian May connects to 5 companies, including Miracle Productions LLP that was incorporated in 2015, and Roger Meadows Taylor connects the company to 26 others, including Queen Films Limited, where they had been appointed in 1992, that important year again. This is the year that Companies House started to become electronic. It's also the year that the Vatican became a legal entity, which links into all of this. And they resigned at the end of June 2024, as I was making connections to the fraud and adrenochrome. Queen Films Limited was incorporated at a key year of 1991 and connects to the fraud by the addresses on its incorporation document that appeared to be forged. And Robert William Lee connects the company to Close Film Sale and Leaseback LLP that was incorporated in 2002 and dissolved in 2023 as the exposure continued. This makes critical connections to key areas of the centralised fraud and to the Satanic Temple United Kingdom. Brian May also connects to Queen We Will Rock You US Limited, in brackets, that was incorporated in 2013 and connects immediately to the fraud by SDG, which is Stanley Davis Group, on its incorporation document, where We Will Rock You Limited is shown. We Will Rock You Limited was incorporated in 2003 and connects immediately to the fraud and the research back to CERN via the name Howard Thomas and Eurolife Company Services on its incorporation document, which appears to be forged. Queen Productions Limited is shown as the company of significant control since 2006. I'll just go and show you a little bit of this. So here's We Will Rock You Limited, incorporated in 2003, no other name. If we look on the filing history, look at the incorporation document. You will see it appears to be forged. So this is a template document normally. You can see here where there's part of the line missing. Okay, so something would have been written there, I suspect. You'll see that everything else is written in pen in this box, whereas the rest of the document is typed generally, other than the signature and the dates, and the font is different. This happens on a lot of the documents, suggesting they have been forged. Now this name Howard Thomas connects key areas of the fraud. It links to my wife's family and to CERN and the crimes against humanity. And if we look on the people of significant control, we have Queen Productions from 2016, which is the year that the Pizzagate scandal started to become exposed and the ritual took place, supposedly at CERN. They're claiming it is a hoax, of course. A separate search shows that Queen Productions Limited was incorporated in 1975, 4 years after the start of the World Economic Forum. It has a forged register with Blue Tit Music and Harbottle and Lewis on its incorporation document. Remember, we were just talking about Harbottle and Lewis and Prince William, supposed Prince William. Queen began in 1977, the year between Charles becoming the Prince of Wales and the beginning of the World Economic Forum. EMI is one of its labels and features quickly in the research of the Israel attacks in 2023, leading to falsified prophecies as those behind the criminal system become exposed. Nick Ross had been Dando's co-host on Crime Watch. He is a chairman, president, trustee or patron of a number of charities, including the National Fire Chiefs Council. Well, that already links at key parts of the fraud and to what I suspect is a deliberate Grenfell Tower fire in 2017. He was also connected to the president of the British Security Industry Association. And the British Security Association, in brackets when you search that, was incorporated in 1967, and it has a forged register, and its filing history shows its registered address was changed as other big movements occurred in 2025. This is the first time since 2017, according to the overview. Martin Robert Agar, and many other directors connect British Security Association to many Group 4 securities companies, making important connections to the fraud. And Paul Condon of the Association of Chief Police Officers of the United Kingdom, and his relative, I believe, was the one that introduced me to Exbourne Manor in 2007, Jock Condon. Ian Malcolm Fothergill connects British Security Association to the Redditch Masonic Company and the Chamber of Commerce Training Company Limited, that was incorporated as Swift 230 Limited in 1985, with Swift being the name of the criminal international transaction system used in the fraud. And page 2 of its incorporation document, of its Memorandum of Articles Association, show the main criminal company, Jordans and Sons Limited. I'll just show you this: British Security Industry Association, incorporated in 1967, and you can see it has the on its main company name there. Oh, if we go into the filing history, you can see, I'm not too sure if it's incorporation documents, not there. No, it's Memorandum of Articles. And if we look at that, you will see that the is not in brackets. Okay, you can see it here, the British Security Association. So this is a forged register. And within the people record, there's a lot of them actually. It took quite a lot of time going through these. Now, a lot of people do connect, but I'm just going to go to the one that I know links to Group 4 security. Where is it? Oh, there it is. No, it's not. There we go. You see 3 companies, including G4S Aviation Services. And there's another one, G4S, but there's loads of them when you look at many of the directors. I'm not going to go through all of this, but you can see there's another director that connects to another Masonic company, a couple of Masonic companies actually. So I'll just show you this little bit. So Fothergill connects to 9 companies, including the Redditch Masonic Charity. Okay, interesting that the UK Remote Monitoring Services, but also a Chamber of Commerce and Training Company Limited, sorry. It was incorporated in 1985. You can see the original name at the bottom, Swift 230, and its name was last changed literally within days of within a month of Princess Diana supposedly dying. And if you look on so Swift is the name of the international transaction system that's used in the international government fraud. And if you go to the incorporation document, the Memorandum of Articles of Association, and scroll down somewhere here, you can see, there you go, Jordans and Sons Limited. See it there, the main criminal company in the fraud. And somebody else from the British Security Industry Association connects critically to the YMCA. So I'm just going to show you this. Seven companies, including various, I believe, YMCA companies. There's one, might be one actually, I know, there we go, YMCA Suffolk Services. Remember, the YMCA connection is very important. We've also got a school there. Matthew Timothy Major connects British Security Association there to Shoreham Football Club Limited and Sussex County Football Association. That has Farrett and Coates on its incorporation document, making connections to Ghislaine Maxwell immediately, the Skinners Academy, and the Royals and the football industry, which is so important to the fraud. Dennis Stopford connects British Security Association there to Age UK Surrey companies, with Age UK Surrey Trading Limited having been incorporated as Age Concern Surrey Limited in March 2001, 4 months before Larry Silverstein acquired the lease for the World Trade Center. It connects immediately to key areas of the centralised fraud by Dunstan and Davis and Waterloo's on its incorporation document, and appears to be forged. Age companies make important connections as shown throughout the document. Michael Paul Sussman connects British Security Association there to Time and Data Systems International Limited. It was incorporated in 1991 and has an address in Poole in Dorset. It has Ellis Jones Company Secretarial Limited of an address of Holdenhurst Road, Bournemouth, which is right near Exbourne Manor. Ellis Jones Company Secretarial Limited makes quick connections to the fraud and addresses surrounding Exbourne Manor, including to 6 Paul Hill in Bournemouth. John William Parsons connects Time and Data Systems International Limited to Dorset Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Anthony Henry Westrop connects Time and Data Systems International Limited to 46 companies, including BlackRock Throgmorton Trust plc, that was incorporated in 1997 and has a forged register. This makes important connections to BlackRock. Nicholas Ross is shown as a director for Crime Watch Trust. Okay, going back to Jill Dando's co-host now. He connects to Crime Watch Trust that was incorporated in 2005, and page 21 of its incorporation documents makes connections to key areas of the fraud by Robert Scott of an address in Hampshire, the same county where Deborah Fleming had been an NHS CEO. This includes companies such as Royal Bank of Scotland plc, Royal Bank of Scotland Group plc, Royal Bank of Scotland plc, Swiss Reinsurgence Company Zurich, and National Westminster Bank plc. That is a criminal company, and it makes direct connections to key areas of the fraud and the apparent plans against creation via the Portuguese Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the United Kingdom, in brackets that connects quickly to Jimmy Savile, Donald Trump, and members of the royal family, including Prince Andrew, as shown elsewhere in the document. There are various lords and baronesses connections, and page 13 shows Her Majesty's Chief Inspector of Constabulary by Ronnie Flanagan. In the People Record, Scott connects Crime Watch Trust to 28 companies, including further NatWest, Aviva, and Undershaft companies already connected to the research surrounding Dando. Now, if we go into Nicholas Ross's records, just to show it, here's Crime Spotters Trust. If we go onto the filing history, we can see Crime Stoppers Trust, Russell and Cook Solicitors, and under the Scott connection, Highway Insurance Group as well. Remember, all insurance companies are centralised to this criminal fraud and the plans against humanity. It's further down. We can if I can show you this bit. Her Majesty's Chief Inspector of Constabulary under this person's name, Sir Ronnie Flanagan. We've got Crossing Out, they've changed name. We also have St John's Ambulance, which is important and features throughout the fraud. All centralised against humanity, everybody against the children, and they are targeting me for exposing it. And then further down you can see Welsh rugby companies, they're all involved as well in it, unfortunately. And here we are. And the important one is National Westminster Bank PLC. That's on the Portuguese Chamber of Commerce, which makes the connections to key areas of the fraud and the apparent, according to the evidence, we have to consider, because it's overwhelming, the skinning of Madeleine McCann and Prince Harry wearing her skin in his shoes at the time of Jeffrey Epstein's arrest in 2019. Several directors, including Angela Elizabeth Entwistle, are connected to SS Realizations 2012. It was incorporated as City Technology Colleges Trust Limited in 1987, and where its name was last changed in June 2012. Not long before CERN supposedly discovered the Higgs boson or God particle. It has a registered address of BDO LLP 5 Temple Square, Temple Street, Liverpool, making important connections. Notice the temple. Lorna Joan Corking connects SS Realizations 2012 to the Girls' Day School Trust, that makes immediate connections to research of the Hampstead Child Abuse Inquiry and to Gulf International Bank UK Limited, which leads quickly to CERN. And I suspect, and that company appears to make the collaborative crimes against humanity connections to the Middle East and the West via that company. And I suspect the Gulf War was all part of that. Dando is not shown as a former director for Crime Watch Trust, and the evidence suggests there was a motive for many people around her to support her murder if she has indeed been killed, particularly if she was starting to find the connections around this and the crimes against children and how it links into the religious establishments and the falsified prophecies. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.